What's bracking, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of my FC Cincinnati career mode. Been a couple weeks, I'm sorry about that. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff going around at my house, so I wasn't really able to record and have the energy to either at times because some sad things that happened. RIP to my dog Marco. Sorry to start the career mode this way, this episode this way, but here we go, taking a look at where we're at in the table. In 8th place at the moment. We are very close to those last 3 playoff spots and probably should be in there, considering the fact that Columbus Crew is 3 points away and we have a game in hand and good goal differential. So we did bring in Sebastian Soto, Marco Farfan, and Julian Green, 3 young American players. I think that really fits into what we should be trying to do here at SC Cincinnati. Build a good core of youngsters such as Juan Granero, the Mexican goalkeeper who has potential to be special, already a 68 overall. So pretty much is good enough to be the starter, and I think once he does surpass Titon by a few points, we will move him into that starting role. I think we really want to try to build a good squad with a mix of youth, good and smart transfers, realistic transfers as well, and see how we can go from there. And this pretty much should be a few seasons as we look at Tyler Smith, a center back who's Canadian, with the has potential to be special status on him, along with Reese Park, a center defensive mid who's an exciting prospect, 63 overall, and he can also play center back, so he could end up being, I think that could be a good center back partnership now that I think about it. Him and the young Canadian could be a really good center back partnership for us, and then Granero in that goalkeeper spot. That's the main area I was really trying to improve, honestly, was looking for some good young defenders and a goalkeeper. We brought in Farfan. We can maybe look for a right back eventually, and we'll see how we can build from there, because I think we're pretty good attacking wise. We brought in the youngster Soto, who is going to be a really good good striker in the future, as we did lose that simulated match to Houston Dynamo, but that's a Western Conference opponent. We didn't really care about that. We have tons of matches coming up here against Eastern Conference sides such as Chicago Fire with Bastian Schweinsteiger, of course, in his last season as a player. Very sad to see him go, but we're going to have to give him a harsh farewell here and to grab some points so we can try to push into that last playoff spot. Definitely looks like we can do so, of course, as we saw before. We still have 2 matches. We're going to have 2 matches this episode actually against Columbus Crew, so I think we could do fairly well in that and really push up, leap over them and some of those other teams in those last few spots. So Matsuck's up top, Cruz, Mane, Green, then Amaya, Bertone, Garza, Watson, Fenderfurf, Powell, and Titon make up the back line also. So a little chance here. A second ball falls kindly to Dax McCarthy. Unfortunately, cannot put that in the back of the net for their cause. But some good build-up play here. Good hold-up right away. Goes back to Maddox. Cruz back to Bertone. Tries to get the shot off. Back to Mane, who tries to sweat it back in. The ball bumbles around a bit, and they finally are able to clear that one out. So nearly create something. Now Cruz, very agile, good dribbler, putting the ball in to Amaya, who unfortunately heads that one over the crossbar. It seems like heading from the run-up play is really difficult. I've been able to score a bit here and there on corners in FIFA, but just little chip crosses like that are not working now. A chip cross to Maddox. Unfortunately, it's that right at the goalkeeper. Had to do a lot better with that. He's been very solid for us so far this season. He really stepped in when Soto was trying to be a starter right away and really has taken that starting role from him. And now a great run from Frankie Amaya. Goes back into Bertone. The 2 center mids linking up to create a goal right there. It seems like a lot of the goals in this FIFA, I mean, last few FIFAs come from your center mids making late runs into the box, and that certainly shows with how many goals that Bertone has. Leonardo Bertone has 10 goals in MLS so far in the season. Clearly is our leading goal scorer. Probably could be in the race for the Golden Boot, honestly, also, as Green does an incredible job using his quick feet to make those defenders miss, putting that ball into Mane back post. 2 young Americans who have had tons of potential really connecting, and that's really the kind of narrative, the story that I love about this career mode. You have a lot of players who have just very unique stories, and we're going to bring more into the fold, such as Julian Green, and have them try to revive their careers and turn SC Cincinnati into an MLS Cup champion. So Mane has 4 goals in the season now. He wasn't scoring too much early on, but he's now now it seems like he's finding his way around the net. Now a good ball from Maddox, little hold-up play. Amaya finishes that one near post. Wasn't really the best defending. That's the main thing I've had since the patch, really. Still, the defensive AI is a bit too easy at times. Having a lot more a bigger challenge, honestly, in my lane orient career mode. So if you want to check that out, I definitely recommend you do so. And I think this team is kind of built for the way the disadvantages, the weaknesses of AI in this game, which really is the fullbacks, and we have some pacey wingers that exploit those fullbacks. I wish I would have known that was a big problem before I took this side, and bought some of the players I did, but not much I can do with how broken FIFA can be. But in this next match of the episode, we're playing DC United, of course, with Wayne Rooney leading the line for them as a good play right here, building up. Mane back to Maddox. Unfortunately, cannot get to that, but some good link-up play between Maddox and Mane there. And the ball's kind of bumbling around here, trying to get a hold of it, but good job building from the back. The way we counterattack is really huge. You can see that just gigantic space in between that right back spot. Mane with tons of pace, but unfortunately just absolutely fluffs that shot. That was a terrible attempt at goal right there. You expect a lot better right there. But you can see now a little chance on the second ball is thankfully deflected. I think Rooney had some really good contact on that one, but was blocked and deflected out for a corner kick. We'll see if they can take advantage of this as we try to clear this one out. A weird bumbling around of the ball around the box, which leads to a very strange penalty in the end. I tried to clear the ball, but it really wasn't letting me. Just a big mess in the box leads to a penalty for DC United. And of course, Wayne Rooney expect to be the one to step up for this. Very strange foul. I think Titon just basically fell over, and Cheek Clapper is not happy about that. That's just needs some better reactions from the side. Unfortunately, Rooney hits that one way wide. You do not expect him to miss like that. It looked like it could have been headed right into that just unsavable spot, into that side netting, but did not work out well for them, as it still is 0-0 somehow. But they're going to come back strong here, but Waston does a good job reading that pass, grabbing the interception, so we try to play out the back here. Cruz playing that ball into space for Mane. I'm sorry about that weird noise you did. As Mane's going to look for that sweat across, like usual, finds Cruz, who hits that one, but it just hits the post. I'm not sure if the post or crossbar. He absolutely blasted that one. There's no way Bill Amin was going to save that. This time, a terrible mistake from the DC United backline. Maddox cannot take advantage of that, though, as he tried to go 1v1 against the defender and keeper, and things did not work out there. But now Rooney, with a very good turn, just completely takes out two defenders with that. Pirouettes into that shot to grab that 1-0 advantage 74 minutes in. So you can see a bit poor defending. They both kind of went to the ball, didn't seem to know what they were trying to do with that, and that leads to a goal. So some awful defending, need to be a lot stronger there. But a great interception from Breton here. Guards it back in the middle to Maddox. Mane is going to run at the defense. He's going to try to hold him off a little bit. Look for that cutback. And unfortunately, Cruz hits that one over the bar again. A wide open header. It just is not taking advantage of, as Cruz loops that well over the net, over the crossbars. Not the best work again. Now, great save, however, from Titon, making up for that kind of weird penalty he gave up earlier. Now, Green running at the defense here, back to Mane, trying to make something happen down this wing, cutting back really quickly, good agility. Back to Breton, is going to try to take the shot, but didn't have the best of touch there in that tight space. And DC United does grab a victory here. They're actually well in that first place spot in the Eastern Conference. They have some pretty talented players, and it shows there with the way they performed and grabbed that victory. So good work from them with that 1-0 victory, but was a bit harsh considering some of the circumstances of it, but could have done a little bit better ourselves in front of goal. We created quite a few chances as we'll get into this sim match here against New England, trying to keep it fresh because it does seem like I'm winning the majority of my matches. Obviously, the last one I didn't win, and New England did beat us, so I did actually put in a rotated side for that one. As we'll now go up here against Toronto FC. They do have a pretty talented squad, but they did let go a couple of their players. I think they don't have Josie Altidore anymore. They still have Pozuelo. I can't remember if they still have Bradley or not. But not the most amazing performance from them this season, which you expect from Toronto, considering even if they're losing Altidore, they have a pretty talented side, a good side who's had some success in some recent seasons. But we'll get on into this one. Hopefully we can grab 3 points, bounce back from the 2 losses in a row. As you can see, the it seems like everyone has 3 goals in the last 3 matches. I don't know if that's actually like an accurate. I don't know if that's really super accurate or not. I don't really think so, because I see it for like every player. It's just random, but yeah, sorry about that, just for pointing it out. But getting into this match, Toronto running the defense, Pozuelo, the number 10, who's really kind of, he's honestly been like tearing apart MLS since he's joined. Osorio, but a good tackle by Mane to grab that one, trying to go on the counterattack. Cruz to Maddox, being played through. Could this be a goal? He's going to look for that sweat across to Mane, and he puts that one in the back of the net. Mane rewarded for his defensive work rate right there. Ended up winning that ball with a very nice tackle, and ended up helping to grab that goal right there. So some good work from him. And, of course, I love the follow-up, grabbing his 5th goal of the season in MLS. So performing a lot better, grabbing some more goals. He was creating quite a bit before, to be honest. I think he's pretty far up there in assists, but he wasn't really finishing his chances, we kind of saw earlier. But a tap-in, and speaking of tap-ins, Toronto FC could not score this tap-in from Mullins. You can see just really wide open, beautiful build-up play from them, honestly. They could not take advantage of it. So now trying to play out the back here on this counter-attack. Amaya back to Cruz. A very beautiful touch from him. He's been so explosive, creating a lot. He's pacey. He's really is running at the defenders, making things happen. Cuts the ball across to Bertone, deflected back to Maddox, who's going to try to put this one in to Mane, and it somehow gets in. I don't think anyone got their head to that cross, because Maddox is the one that's celebrating it, so I'm guessing it's an own goal or it's a goal for him. We'll check up on that, because that was definitely a weird little sequence. Just kind of chipped it back post, and I don't know if... Is that really an own goal? I don't think that would be... that should be a goal for Maddox, honestly. That's like a bad cross or something. I guess Drew Moore the own goal, but I think that should be a goal for Maddox. It's obviously a very fortunate goal, but still. Nonetheless, we ended up grabbing that victory. It was a pretty boring match, to be fair. So a good result in this one. Bouncing back after those 2 losses in a row. And it seems like those just kind of the last few teams in the playoff spot are really not doing too well, because even with those losses, we still kind of are in this pretty good position. We'll see later on. But good performance all around. I think defensively we've been really improving. That was a big issue for us earlier on. We were just getting destroyed defensively. I remember giving up like 4 or 5 goals against Orlando, and just getting torn apart by them. So now a 3-0 loss against the Whitecaps. Again, Western Conference, I don't really care too much about this one, but not the best regardless. But we do are a couple. I think we were 2 points away from New England or someone with a game in hand. So there's a big matchup here against New York City FC. Of course, they got a pretty talented side, so we'll see how we can perform. Now, Maddox running at the defense. Bertone playing the ball through to Maddox. Going to cut back in, look for a pass. He's going to go at goal. Unfortunately, hits that one wide. Tried to beat the goalkeeper near post, Sean Johnson, but could not do so, as Powell actually does a good job bowling that guy over. Man, he absolutely destroyed him. Playing that one back out on the wing to Mane, who's going to look for the overlap from Garza, and we'll see him taking that space, waiting for a run, going to Maddox. The ball falls back to him, goes back to Maddox, who hits that one near post, had the sweat even, and finishes that. But Maddox is in a really good job. I think this Soto's definitely going to be stepping in probably next season, but Maddox really has... It's hard to bench him considering how good he's been, how good a form he's been in since he's been playing and starting. Because it's going to be Soto as a starting striker from the start was my plan, to try to develop him a bit more. So playing the ball back here on this wing to Julian Green. Again, the fullback positioning is not very good. Sweats the ball across to Maddox. Unfortunately, hits that one wide. Cheek clapper. Loves the play, so he's not too disappointed about that. That wasn't the best ball across, but still good work all around. But 75th minute, though, I think we could see how that all just really backfired. A poor attempt to win that tackle. I think that was from Garza. And unfortunately, they tie things up after a little bit of weird stuff happening in the box. Cannot win that. The ball's crossed back in. Everyone's beat to that one. And fortunately, they grab a goal here to tie things up. And they're going to be playing some good build-up play around the box now. They kind of went into that Superman mode that seems to happen in Ultimate and Legendary from time to time. Now back out on this wing, Mackie Steven doing a good job cutting the ball back to Ofori, who's going to beat Titone near post. I think that's a bit weak from him getting beat like that. That's a very powerful shot, but I think he really in that situation. He's on his right foot. He's on his, no, I think he was on his left. But either way, I think you just got to try to stop that one, that near post shot, because I think the far post was going to be pretty difficult. But a good cut back from Maddox. Stays up when he probably could have gone down for the penalty. Trying to work the ball around, make something happen. Good turn from Maddox. Unfortunately, that little touch he took was probably a little bit too much. A chance to tie things up, grab that draw. Unfortunately, cannot make things happen. So, not the best form we're in at the moment. It's a few losses here and there, but again, MLS is pretty unforgiving with the whole playoff system, so we still have a chance to get into one of those final playoff spots. So Garnetto is up to a 70. We're trading up Bertone, Cruz, and Powell, as they do have a bit of potential to them. We want to get them close to that potential by that third season. We want them all to be kind of around their potential is my plan. So now against Columbus Crew, we're going to have 2 matches against them. They are in those playoff spots. It's going to be a really big matchup. Back out to Maddox, to Green, a great little triangle made between them all. Bertone with that cut, goes back to Cruz, who's going to hit this one near post and absolutely beats the keeper right there. Wonderful work from them. That little triangle there that was created just really tore them apart in just that great near post finish. It seems like, again, those midfielders, man, are just absolutely tearing things apart. With those goals being in the perfect position to make things happen. You got to love to see that. Good finish from the Costa Rican Letico, who's been wonderful for us so far in the season, creating a lot, is grabbing a few goals recently as well. I think he had a brace in one of the matches earlier on, and now grabbed one here. Great job defensively from Cruz also. He has good defensive work rate. He's been pretty strong here. Now played through Maddox is by Green. Wonderful pass from Julian Green. Does not work out, but you got to love that tactical ability that Julian Green brings, of course. And here you can see Gyasi Zardes being Gyasi Zardes. That is exactly what you expect from Gyasi Zardes, honestly. That just sums his career up quite a bit, in my opinion. I mean, he's had a pretty solid career considering all the hate he gets, but still, obviously as a U.S. fan, not a huge fan of him. Again, near post. He screws that chance up. That was a pretty good chance for him to score that. But they're doing a good job attacking us quite a bit. 43rd minute, trying to create another chance here. A little shot first time is saved and hit and parried out for a corner kick. Now in the second half, 60th minute, winning that ball is, I believe that was... I think that was Cruz. Back to Bertone is going to play Julian Green through. He's going to hit that right at the keeper, unfortunately. That's where Green could probably be a little bit better. He needs to be more clinical in front of goal, but of course, you guys saw the chance he created earlier on in this one, and one of the beautiful goals he created early on as well. So he's doing a pretty good job in that aspect. Now Monty using that pace, playing the ball across to Maddox on that counterattack. The pace is just too deadly from our wingers on the counterattack, and of course we have some pretty good athletic midfielders who are also very good technically, who can create those chances as well and finish them. Yes, I've seen their finishing abilities is pretty good. Now Julian Green tries to get that interception. He does end up getting into after a bit of deflection here and there. He's going to run at the defense a bit, cut ball back in, back to Maddox, to Cruz. He's going to, beautiful turn, run at the defense, hit that one in near post. Just absolutely wonderful play from Cruz right there. You'd love to see that hit from him. Just the ability on the counterattack, going 1v1 against the defender and finishing it off with a lovely finish in the end. So it's exactly what you want to see from him, really. But we do give up a late consolation goal to all people. Gyasi Zardes, as much hate as I've given him, it's almost like if he's heard me, he's really celebrating very happily here. And that's, reminds me of some of those memes of like when Daniel James or someone scores in the 92nd minute when they're losing 7-1. And it shows like someone celebrating all wild. But yeah, just random tangent. Sorry about that for the little tangent. But either way, a good victory against Columbus Crew. We do have kind of a return match against them. This is also the Ohio Ohio Derby, man. Pretty much is what it is. We're actually going to let Smith get a chance here. And you can see Smith, 79 strength, 76 sprint speed, 73 stamina, 82 aggression, 78 acceleration. He's really good physically. He's up to a 66 overall now. He's pretty close to being a starter, honestly. I think if we train him up, he's going to be a really good center back for us in the future. So love to see that combination we have. We're using the full backup side, basically. So youngsters such as Soto, Corbin Bone, who was kind of original of SC Cincinnati, was on the teams that really helps gain the support for them to be in MLS now. Is going to get rewarded with the start here for his loyalty to the side. So now going to see some action here from Victor Ulloa. Back to Soto, doing some good hold-up play to Farfan, really getting forward. And I like how agile. He isn't super pacey, but he's pretty agile, so his turns are very nice. Plays the ball back into Bone. And of all people, him scoring in the Ohio Derby, we're going to call it, doing a great job with that little finish, being the perfect spot, playing as a bit of a poacher, making a good run forward, ends up rewarding the run also, the overlap from Marco Farfan as well. So some good play here. 1-0 up. Joe Jal, who has been kind of relegated to that backup role, is going to find himself in a very good spot, though. Going to find the sweat again, this time to Soto, and that is just some beautiful play. Really playing Columbus off the pitch in their own house. So a bit of embarrassment for them, considering the fact that they really completely rotated side, and we were able to grab the 2-0 lead so far. But I think it was pretty uneventful after that. It wasn't really incredible amount of stuff happening, as we did end up grabbing the 2-0 victory. So great job by the side after, you know, just a weird little kind of fixture right there that was for no reason kind of packed in. I'm guessing there might have been a cup match that Crew was involved in, the US Open Cup that was involved in, that kind of made this match congestion happen, which is why I had to put in that backup side. But great to see those youngsters performing well. Didn't really get to show Smith in that one because he didn't really have to do anything. We dominated possession, honestly, for the most part. But some more training you can see as you round this out. Granado up to 71, and I think we're going to be moving him into that starting role now. But you can take a look at the table here. We are in 7th fairly comfortably, not incredibly comfortably. We had 4 points is the closest, and then of course 3 points Orlando City, but we do have 2 games in hand on them, so that's something to think about. But a very good performance from us so far in this episode, in the season. We really have bounced back from a tough spots, and it looks like we have a good shot at the playoffs. We're still in September, going to be playing Toronto next, who's pretty low in the table, but I think we'll be rounding out the regular season in the next episode, and then the playoffs. Whole playoffs, no matter where we finish, will be on one episode, so that we can round out the season and all that for you guys. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I know I need to be more consistent with my uploads, and a lot of people just care about player growth tests and stuff like that. But whatever, I'm enjoying posting these career modes and playing the game a lot more than I used to be since like before the patch. And now recently, it seems like the gameplay has been a bit more challenging, which is nice to see. So thank you everyone, though, who's been tuning in to my career modes. So again, we're going to be finishing off the regular season in the next episode. Can maybe even move into the postseason. We'll see. But I do think I want to try to finish the regular season, have this be more an accelerated career mode for you guys, like I did in that first episode. With that, thank you everyone for tuning in. Leave a like on the video. I love you. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.